All right. This is the first time I'm using my new toy. So I know it has a microphone on it, but I don't know how it's going to work with the fan, muffled, and whatever. But we'll find out later. Okay. So hypothetically, the next person who comes in is not supposed to be in this group physically. We're out of line. I know I can fudge a little bit. I do ring things, trying to make things work. What the way they did it. But I was trying to get a sort of a semicircle and maybe two circle. And I do work on it. Maybe after 5. Because I think it's going to require to take something. Anyway, getting back to COVID, this is the problem. And from a psychological point of view, some of the medical people don't want to tell you that. They've been telling you, oh, we've been in this 18, 19 months. They've been telling you the secret to non-spreading COVID is that, right? And distancing. Well, they don't hurt. They're not going to let you hurt. All the aggregations that go through is bad. Now there are some states, especially not ours, there are some states that are mandating that outside. Crazy, insane. The best thing is what I did, get air movement in this. This room has no air movement at all. None. So I brought a fan to move air, to move that. That's the best place to be. Outside is the best place to be. Well, inside, all you have to do, we're going to talk a little bit about scientific method. All you have to do is look at the statistics. They're always talking about, look at the science, look at the science, look at the science. Oh yeah, look at the science. You have to see it fast. The recent study that said, at best, 10%. And you don't want to look at the downside, especially for the because your oxygen, or in this case, your carbon monoxide and carbon dioxide is not flowing freely out pockets under your mask for a little while or about. And that causes stress on your kind of operating system. And those side effects of that seems to affect children more than adults. So those states that require people to do that. My guess is more semesters over. But look at historically we get the flu when season we get the flu. Fall. Why? Cold weather. And does cold weather cause the viruses to work better? No. Cold weather causes people to spend more time inside than people go outside. And so when you're inside, you're not barely messed up. You're gathering, and that gathering is what's making the feeling pass on. And that's the COVID cure also. So right now, we are seeing spikes in COVID in places like Florida. Oh yeah, but Florida's not masking. That's right. So why do you think that when you normally get viruses, it's in the winter? And we just discussed the reason that's true is because people spend more time inside than outside and closer together. So why would Florida be peaking and maybe Georgia or even Texas? because it's so damn hot. We're not outside hanging around. We can avoid it. So we're inside now. And when fall kicks in, we will be outside again. So you will see a peak in infections around now, August, July, August, and they are peaking. People are blaming that on the fact that people go back to school and whatnot. But really what it is, as it is. If you're following the science, the safest place to be on, if you have to be close to somebody, is where? On an airplane. Why an airplane? You're really close. True. But airplanes, because of the nature of airplanes, they circulate the air and they filtrate the air. They've always done that because they're in a closed environment. It would feel like this classroom. If I didn't have a stand on, you would be getting clammy. It's not cool, right? It's not cool in here. Without moving air, it's clammy. So really, on airplanes, it's the safest place to be. You don't even need that. So what are they enforcing on all transit, buses, trains, planes, everybody else? So they don't follow the science. They follow the psychology. Only. Psychology is saying, if you wear a mask, if I wear a mask, I'm talking to you, you feel better because I'm not a mask. Closer to you, you know, Dr. Jeff is coming too. But just think of it from a psychology point of view. What influences us to think and do and act the way we do? Okay? Anybody having blackboard issues with it? Okay, good. By the way, in the future, if I have handouts, I'll put it on the table so somebody can get it. Oh, please. Funny Marvin. That's the okay. Communication is kind of the key in all these classrooms. We can keep good communication between all of us. Then you got the right. Children. Get the other hand out and put it down. Dry eraser board, eraser, or chalkboard. Anybody seen one of these before? I have a whiteboard at home, which is about I've been making ABC for a while, but you guys have other classes here at the end? Any whiteboards, any whiteboards in any classroom? When you're a smaller school, you get what's left over. I teach most of my classes in my area. Everyone is responsible. Change this class. Really? We'll go with it. That's game style. Anyway, this is being recorded, and all future classes will be recorded simply because we could get over our limit, which is 15. My idea about that is if we come and the classroom has a obligatory 15 limit, then you guys can sit and have the laptop, sit in the hallway with the break area kind of around the corner by the elevators. Or if you don't have a laptop, anybody not have a laptop, would like to have it on loan, you know? You have laptops up to 502. Resource area. School will lend you an extra laptop. That's 14 years. Nice one, you know. That they just get cheap equipment on that. You can have it. But if you don't have a laptop, you really don't want to check one out, if that means you're responsible for it or something, you could still go up to 502, 50, desk, phones out, phones, being live on camera. Actually, nothing right now. Being paid. Oh, I don't get into Zoom instead of YouTube. It should be live podcast, which it would be if I was looking at the laptop. So anyway, it'll be available to you. That's such an exciting conversation that I want to do with you. Anyway, you miss a class because of the million reasons and other things going on in our life. We're actually talking about something more important than administrative stuff. You can watch the class online. Zoom. Recorded video section. Okay, what questions are running through the mind now? Done? All good? All right, let's talk about the damn book. What it looks like, I have it in digital form, I've had it in digital form for 2 years. I always post it on Blackboard. So you don't have to buy the book. Very expensive. You buy the book for you. About $130 or something. I just good book. Come on. So you can get it digitally off the internet, off of Blackboard. Well, wait a minute, no, you can't. Because they changed the rules on Blackboard, not Blackboard, our own people. Changed the rules so they limit the amount of space you have. So other classes that I teach, they got their book, but you didn't because it won't let me upload it. So they have a workaround. This is the kind of stuff you guys have to deal with. I mean, which one is true? They have a workaround where they have something within our system where I can, like a mini cloud or something, where I can park information and you can tap into it and get it. However, the people who do that are information technology people. They're not coming physically to work. They're working from home. So when you call, try to get a hold of them, nobody else is calling. So I spent the whole day party yesterday trying to get some pickup from physically went to the location. So there is a way to go. Not that it has to happen because you gotta have the book. So you have to back to the virus. If worse comes to worse, what I'll do is I'll get a bunch of USB, I'll put it on the USB, and other bunch of laptop, desktop, that's the worst thing. That would be on me. But I would rather pay $5 for USB for something that has a USB, or bring a USB next time. I want to have you have your hand on a book for the weekend because that's a good time to start reading if you're working or doing other things. So I really don't want to wait that long. People, I'm not that gifted like something like this. The program I've never heard of. So it's something new. There's also a possibility, well, one of my sort of IT guys told me that through OneDrive, each faculty has 1 terabyte of information on OneDrive. So, I'm not IT inclined, I don't know how to use one, right? I'll figure it out. My goal, I have one more class today and then I have to leave. So, my goal is to get that book. So reading, do you want to know when the first exam will be? The first exam will be, all exams will be online. So I will release it like on a Friday morning, day Thursday, so 2 weeks from tomorrow, which I think is September 10th or something. That'll be the first exam. So it'll be over these 5 months. That you have the handout to study on. The test questions are actually in that study guide. So I don't remember how many I put out. Let's say you got 5 mods, maybe 20, 25 questions. So we talked about 100, somewhere between 100 and 150 questions. And we have an exam with 50 questions. So more or less 1 out of every 2 questions on the study guide. So getting nervous is that one of the so you have got to grasp the strategy. We'll get you through this class and keeping diligent will do well. Unless they don't have a class, unless they don't do training. So, in that case, you can't do anything. Yes, I'm sure. I created the sign-in sheet. So busy getting the footnote here. Okay. Probably best spread. We'll do the same. Okay. So it will be recorded stuff on Blackboard. So that in this class, you'll be able to watch it. That's right. So since you really haven't had access to a book, you'll send some- ask some good questions about what you read, since you haven't had a chance to read. So let's just start taking a historical perspective. Who was taking a psychology class before? Not that unusual. You have any psych majors in here? None? I thought that. Yeah. Yeah. This class is required for almost every single degree program. And the reason, right after yourself, why do I have to take this exam class? It's because, you know, when committees get together and figure out what a basic curriculum is going to contain, things like the history class, the writing class, and the speech class, introduction to psychology, usually some kind of art science. Anyway, these are the basic building blocks of building the basis for the career. Now, it's very likely that 15 people probably have at least 6, maybe 9 different degree programs in here. I'll just go quickly. I'm declared to stay on service. I can't do it all. Culinary arts. Okay. Yeah, come on. What is your name? Dental hygiene. Oh, that's in the school. Nursing. Music, great. All right. Well, rest assured, a lot of people that say, I'm going into this program. A year or 2 years ago. So, I always have general, we've had an announcement, agree, this director, I can't even make up my mind on where I go. Doesn't matter. People who think they can have their mind, they want to do it. So don't go back. You know this. The model for the school is a great place to start. It is a great place to start. I am a graduate of a community college. And I decided to become a psychologist in 8th grade. Sometimes in the board, what's your degree thing? Nursing, okay. 2 nurses, psychology. Okay, well. Oh, you're still undecided? Okay. Yes, sir. Undecided. Yes, ma'am. PT. All right.
Radiology program. Radiology.
Oh, RT. All right. Oh, another kid psychology. We're going to leave on you too. That's it. All right. Emilio? Oh, CJ, all the way. I got you. Okay. I didn't teach criminal justice too, so. I forgot taking a criminology class. In criminal justice, otherwise known as CJ. Criminal justice, we call basically, oh, by the way, anybody know the Greek alphabet? Greek alphabet, psi, that symbol. So if you go to UTEP and country school or the white line, have all the sorority, fraternity markings on the buildings, and delta, 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 white finger, psi, delta psi. Anyway, psi. So instead of me writing psychology all the time when it comes up, I'm going to do that shortcut. All you medical folks, the future medical folks, always take shortcuts. You know, the A and B are all that. Anybody have military service? Books, and nothing. Acronym. Anyway, all you need to now remember is this: in criminal justice, our psychology, within criminal justice, is called criminology, which is basically the study about why people become criminals. And it's more than that. It's like, why do people become victims? The whole study of victimology, criminal justice, a lot of psychology in criminal justice. I've been one person officer, so study that. So, we're talking about the beginnings of history of psychology. So I'd like to know, do any of you know the names of any of the famous people involved in psychology, or a theory that's involved in psychology? Somehow you picked it up. Maybe you trained your dog to shake your hand or roll over, something like that. Anybody know any of the psychological terms or any of the people involved in the psychology field in the past? Might be, I don't know. I don't know. Might be somebody recent, that's understand. I went to school right after the Civil War. Most people remember Kennedy. Anybody else? Memory? How about behavioralism? When you're trying to train your dog not to pee on the carpet, trying to get him to roll over, all kinds of things. That's behavioralism. Famous names involved with behavioralism. E.F. Skinner, And John Watson, most people don't remember John Watson, but they probably remember Skinner. Things like called the Skinner box, which was used in experimentation. Skinner used quite effectively. So let's just take a quick scroll through history about psychology. Where did psychology come from? From what discipline or disciplines did psychology come from? This one you could probably figure the answer out by just thinking. What does psychology do? What's the purpose of psychology? It's not about changing air filter on a 2008 BMW X5. What do we do in psychology? It's an excellent choice of words. Because in the beginning, psychology, the definition of psychology was the study of the mind. Okay? You mentioned the study of behavior. So, in the beginning, it was the study of your mind and your thought. Now, does that help you come up with a discipline? Who talks about great big thoughts and worldly things? What discipline is that? Might be a class you have to take. You got an idea? Philosophy. So psychology is philosophy plus behavior. Right? So actually, it's nothing. Don't let me say that. It's philosophy plus so, physiology, as in anatomy and physiology. Anybody taking anatomy and physiology in high school? Okay, teacher, doctor here. Where are you going to be? You're going to be in medical profession, right?
I'm not sure yet.
What?
I'm not sure yet.
Oh,
So,
all right. So, what's the difference between anatomy and physiology?
physiology was like the knowledge of the body,
Right.
and anatomy was more
Right. Okay. This is your kidney. Look at your picture in your book of your kidney. Here it is, right? That's anatomy. What it looks like. What does it do? Well, it helps pump out unwanted waste fluid, whatever. That's physiology. Anatomy is the part. This is your heart, anatomy. This is all the parts connected to the heart. Okay, what does it do? Well, it pumps blood, does it this way. That's physiology. So, philosophy is psychology is philosophy and physiology. So, you got the people thinking about your mind, and then you're thinking about how that mind affects your body. So that's psychology. So in the beginning, let's say pre-1929. So this is the timeline. 1929 is right here. this side of it, which is pre-1929, was the study of the mind. And who was famous for that? Freud. Freud was not a psychologist, and he was not a psychiatrist, because psychiatrists didn't exist, but if he were here today, we would call him a psychiatrist, because he was a medical doctor, and then he specialized in the organ called the brain. And how he did this, or why he did this, was when he graduated from medical school in Germany, he wanted to go make some money. Now that he spent these years, I have a daughter who's the chief resident in the PMP program, and graduates, will be 34 years old. He's been going to school for 28 years. 6 years old, first grade. So, medical school, everything. So, graduates, watch the world, makes the money, debt, and get moving in the profession, and you can do things that you want to. So, Freud was the first one to talk about psychological issues, because he decided to go to Austria. Vienna, it's a port city. At the time that he lived, century he lived, yesterday as well, but it was a booming city because of commerce. It was on a waterway, so it was a city that was growing very fast because of the kind of business and commerce that was going on. Therefore, they had a very fast growing middle class and some upper class people that were living in that town. So he decided to go set up his practice in Vienna. He probably would be considered before we start getting into psychological things, he probably would have been considered either internal medicine, neurology, I don't think quite so defined, but I think it's safe to call him either general practice or internal medicine. I'd probably go with internal medicine. And so he started seeing patients. And of course, when you're trying to make money, what kind of patients do you want to see? People who have money. Because that's the only way you're going to make money, is if you see patients who have money, right? So, back in the day, you had the fat cat businessmen, no such thing as a businesswoman, all businessmen, and they were doing well, and they were creating their business, and going out after work for drinks, and smoking cigars, BS, and whatever, and come home late, sometimes do this, fix it. So the wives are like really not happy with their husband. Now, they weren't working because their husbands were making enough money that maids or the housekeepers could do all the cleaning, cooking, taking care of the kids, mending the clothes, whatever. So the wives really didn't have anything to do. I mean, if they wanted to be more active in raising kids, they could. Certainly, sure kids, they could do what they want, but they didn't have to. So they became bored, and a lot of them became what we now call neurotic. And some of them would have symptoms of neuroses, which means illness, there is no biological reason for the illness. We had a lady, I grew up in Mexico, we had a lady in the neighborhood who, again, was doing my neck. Her head used to kind of be flat on her shoulder. She was driving. And we always thought that she had some anatomical problems. Maybe an accident or something that made her do that. And we found out that really what happened was she had some kind of emotional problem. That was how close what the emotional problem was. And it manifests this. So there's really no biological reason for her to have her head leaning on there. We've had people who have mysterious stomach problems or they babies, they all these kinds of things. Well, guess what? Freud started having these people as patients. A lot of them women, maybe they wanted to then some man skirts like an affair, so they ended up going to see Dr. Freud. And so he would give them a thorough examination, and then he would realize there doesn't seem to be any physiological reason for them having the symptoms that they're having. But yet the symptoms persist. And that made him think, you know what? It's got to be in your head. Every time I get up, I want to fall over. Well, hey, got low blood sugar? That's going to happen. But if you don't have low blood sugar, why is it happening? And he came to develop the idea because of life experience, and that's why he was very interested in studying the mind. After 1929 on the timeline is when behavioralism hit psychology. Those of you know a little bit about history, World War I occurred in the early 1900s. And because of that, there was a draft involved, and people were going into the military, and the generals and the military were saying, it's the best job. You know, we get these recruits, some of them are very smart, some of them are very dumb, some of them are in the middle, some of them can do some things well, some of them don't do things very well at all. And so the science and art of testing, psychological testing, came into play. There were tests created to examine how well you would fit into the military and what area you may fit into. If any of you have taken ASVAB, this is a military directed exam that people voluntarily take, and tells the four main branches of the military. They each have a little section and a test to sort of test the skills that they want to know about. So if you're one of these people that really understand place, spatial kinds of stuff, concepts, if you have that ability, then that test will tell people who read it, this guy or gal is really good with theoretical thinking, maybe a good candidate for this discipline within the military. Or they have this guy who that's smart. No insult to the culinary group. Because this guy needs to be good. He needs to have something fun. There's a big part of the potato. Right, so fun. Hey, gainfully employed, they can save money if the guy who's out, if the guy in the fan, this is Right. CJ, right? Yeah, CJ.
Yep.
You go and join the Air Force. You want to be a technician. They don't fail. They give you two other jobs that you can do. If you fail the one that you wanted to do, they give you two options. One of them is being a cook. The other one is being in law enforcement. Can't believe it. Anyway, behavioral behavioralism came in with Jeff Skinner and Watson. And the thing that Skinner had was the scientific method. He had it down, boy. Boy was just saying, well, how do you mean? You know, what do you mean? Somebody has this mental idea and they have a fake paralysis or whatever. How do you prove it? How do you measure it? You really can't. At least you can't. We want to done it at that time. So there's a lot of skeptics. You know, especially Freud was all into this stuff as when he considered today pretty wacky. Like his psycho stages of development. Not a lot, but there's several theorists that talk about how we grow up developmentally. Freud had this psychosexual stuff that he had 5 stages. So a lot of his stuff was sexually oriented. He was wrong about he was wrong about psychosexual stages of development. Nobody believes that. I'm considered a neo-Freudian. I believe in a lot of things that Freud talked about. Psychosexual development is not what. Okay? It's just a little distracting. So when Skinner came in, he had it all down. He's going to teach a pigeon. You'll see a video. Video of him teaching a bird, pigeon, how to turn around. He can tell you how many times he fed that bird, how long the bird remembered, what he wanted him to do, all these things. He measured everything. He was fastidious about writing all this stuff down. And all the people in psychology said, wow, behavioralism is it. We are no longer the study of the mind. We are now study of behavior. And that went on until let's think of it. Around the latter 60s, psychology community in the Western Hemisphere, and probably other places, said enough of this behaviorism. We are not robots. We're not robots. No, this is dehumanizing. We're human beings. We're not just a computer, garbage in, garbage out, good things in, good things out. No, we're much more complicated than that. Believe me, we are definitely complicated. So what they did was they combined the two. The study of the mind and the behavior. And that's what we are today. Psychology is the study of the mind and behavior. So after 60s, that's what the definition was. humanism, and then to play cognitive. What's cognitive side? What's cognition? Think about it. Think about it. What's cognition? Thinking. Cognition is thinking. Cognition is how we think, how we organize, how we perceive, how we remember. All that stuff is cognition. That's a whole section of psychology. So you tell me you're depressed. Why do you say you're depressed? Well, I'm always thinking I'm not going to make it to school. I'm going to probably get COVID and die within the next 5 months. Well, stop thinking that way. That's going to help you. That's the cognitive side, the messages that you are telling yourself. And you will get yourself depressed. I will tell you that everybody in this room, including me, has been depressed in the past. And everybody in this room, including me, will be depressed again. Sounds pretty depressing, right? It's hard to get a blow a lot. When psychologists talk about depression, they talk about clinical, love that word, clinical depression. There's a diagnostic statistical manual in psychology and psychiatry called DSM-5. You will have a problem. I think that one will let me post. I actually didn't check it. I'll go back and check. It's supposed to be on Blackboard. It is a book that is all of the diagnoses and explanation of the symptoms of particular disease, the name, the description of it, because of, anybody know what ICD-10 is? Or ICD-9? For all you medical people, future medical people, that is the International Code of Diagnosis. Started out a long time ago as a method for people to communicate about a disease to other people in the profession without having to describe the damn thing in detail. We just say under ICD-10, which is the latest version, you just open the book, it'll have a number. 67.142, that's my diagnosis. Oh, that means you have broken ankle. Okay. So out of the ICD kind of mentality, psychologists, psychiatrists came up with DSM, diagnostic statistical manual. However, this is usually a test question. It doesn't tell you how you got it. It just doesn't. If you say, yeah, I'm depressed, why am I depressed? Can't tell you, but I can tell you you're depressed. Okay? That's where the therapy side, the clinical side, psychology. Listen to you, sit down, do therapy. The ICD-10 or the DSM, that's going to tell you why you're depression, and you're not schizophrenic. So, because a lot of what goes on in the United States, for sure, is driven by money, the ICD codes work. Do a walk to offices. 20 feet. They're coding for when you perform whatever service you do. You perform a service is coding because that's all going to go to the insurance company. You do your office or the hospital. I think we teach that here. Hospital coding. It's a job that with 2 years of training and community college, you can get out and hold on the money. Because if you're really coding, looking at the information, putting it in the form, the insurance company will approve doctor's reimbursement, then your work is ready to go on the warrant. So you become a really good coder. Being good means the material that you get is coded the correct way, and the insurance company doesn't keep taking it back. And you get the full amount of reimbursement from the doctor. They love it. They live on it. So your salary can go from 30,000 to 90,000 if you're really good at what you do. So it does have to come with coach. So, all right. Humanistic psychology, Carl Rogers, Abraham Maslow, two people I think I would start off with that. There's a list of these psychological principles on whiteboard, what, 6 of them. Starting off with analytical theory and one after what we know today is the best description of helping you from yourself or teaching somebody else how to explain what brought you to where you are today, personality wise, understanding, actions, behaviors, values. And here it is. We have 3 spheres. The first one is called biological. 3 letters here for bio. And we have another. All those psychological. And then the third one is social. So, who has heard the concept of nature versus nurture? Remember that from somewhere? Remember any of it? Just kind of hearing the words. Okay. No crime there. It used to be nature versus nurture. Is how we explain our psychological development. So what's nature? Oh, it's the birds and the bees and the trees. Oh yeah. But in psychological terms, nature is what your creator gave you. You believe in a higher being, combination of that higher being and your mother and father, sex cells getting together. That's your nature. And nurture, like the word nurturing, nurture means everything that's happened to you in the outside world. Were your parents smart? Were your parents kind? Were your brothers and sisters? Did you have good instructors in class? Or did you have losers? Like that other campus? What kind of lessons did you learn in church? What about social groups? Boy Scouts, Girl Scouts, anyway, so it used to be this was it. Now this is it. Now, we have the action arrows here to show the dynamic nature of this bio, psycho, social diagram, which explains it all. And we will never have to deviate from this. Because this is it. Because nature, well, that's all taken care of in bio. Nurture, that's all taken care of social. And then we added psychological. So, use the word biology, but what else is included in the biological side? Chemistry, anatomy, physiology. At every level. And for those who are going to study the field of psychology further, you're going to be amazed, and some of you might be interested in being amazed, that all psychology now is at the cellular level. What happens, why you feel the way you feel, why you think the way you think, why you remember the way you remember, it's all at the cellular level. That is crazy. It's true. So, chemistry, oh, by the way, genes, heredity, all in biology. Does that affect how you are, what you are today? Yes, want to be here, you can be there. Social, like I say, everything. Who knows a set of identical twins? You know them very well? You know their personality?
Yes, I went to school with them.
You knew both of them, right? They seem like they were kind of the same personality. Yeah. You know them? Good idea. Identical. Same personality? Okay? No? You know? What's your experience? Cousin? Okay. Are they exactly like those types of personality, or one that are easier to get along with? Or somebody else? Okay. Well, you know, for identical twins, the DNA mirror image of each other. So does heredity in genes affect and biopsies affect you as a personality? Absolutely. But not by itself. These arrows mean biology affects psychology, psychology affects social, social affects psychology, social affects biology. Back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Very dynamic. But just because you have equal expression of DNA, if you had equal strands of your DNA, which is exactly the same as your identical twin, biologically, anatomically, they are the same. But there are differences, sometimes subtle differences, sometimes not so subtle. Only twins I knew were in high school, girls, and their names Sally and Susan Davis. One of them was really nice. Can't remember which one was which, but I know one was nice and the other one was a big, biatch, unpleasant person. And Flo later was dating the high school basketball captain. Everybody was below her, you know, way up in the air. And her sisters don't like that at all, just like anybody else, great guys. So, and they're both attractive, they both, attracted people to them because of their personalities, but one that I knew was quieter and less outgoing than the other one. Hi, boss, I'm here. Who wants to sit next to me? That kind of person. So the psychology side was not involved in this at all. At least we didn't identify it. The psychology side is how you think about things. What does it mean to you when certain things happen? Maybe you don't think exactly like your identical twin does. So your thoughts affect the whole personality development. And you can have a identical twin and end up with considerable difference in personality. And as far as illness goes, how about schizophrenia? Identical twins, one twin develops schizophrenia. What is the chances? What are the chances that the other twin is going to develop schizophrenia? Close to 100, close to 70, close to 90, close to 50? You're absolutely right. You got good insight. It's 50%. And you would, if you're like me, you'd say, hey, wait a minute, that doesn't make any sense. You got the same set of genetic material, and you become schizophrenic because schizophrenic is 85, 87% genetic, 13% here. So then you start nuancing things and say, well, if schizophrenia is 87%, does that mean you're going to get schizophrenia? And the answer is you may or may not. You may be genetically predisposed to get schizophrenia, and your identical twin brother got it. And you didn't. But you are still genetically disposed to get it. And what's going to make the difference is your social and your psychological. Because if your twin brother was out on a scouting trip with the Boy Scouts and got sexually molested when he was 9 years old and you weren't there, his life is not going to be your life after that incident. Okay? So the social side has a lot to do with it. Psychological side can too. People can say, yeah, we're twins, but mom liked you better. Mom always preferred you. Well, whether that's true or not, it doesn't really matter. What matters is you think it's true. It's your reality. It may not be the reality, but it's your reality. And that will affect you. It will affect how you make friends, twins. Sometimes they share friends among them, sometimes they don't. Sometimes they like to have their own friends. Depends on them. So, okay. Start with the new definition of psychology. What you mostly need to know is about biopsychosocial. And there are at least one question I saw when I took this morning, at least one biopsychosocial question, probably more. I'll give you a heads up. Any biological, biopsychosocial question that's on the study exam will end up on the test. Why? Because I want you to remember that concept. If you remember anything about this class, remember my little ugly diagram here You got one, it's real pretty, with all the colors and all that stuff. All you need to know, there are three spheres. They're dynamic, which means things can go back and forth. Let's get that in 5 minutes. Right, let me go. Let me do a quick discussion. Okay. If this line defines an individual person as far as good mood, bad mood, sometimes you go on, you have something really nice happen, and you go back down, something really bad happen, and then you have some ups and downs. This is your life. Okay? Then, on this day, we'll call it bad day. Right there. What happens? Grandmother dies, and you're very close to your grandmother. So you become depressed. I believe that. It's called a reactive depression because you are reacting to a social event. Grandmother's death. Boom! As soon as you hear it, move on down. Go through the rosary, go through the funeral. Live with you, and the time you're at home, you realize no longer with you, at least not physically, but spiritually. So you go on a little depressive pathway down. Now, that was caused by this event on the death of somebody that you had a very close relationship. In time, you're going to get over it, right? If your favorite animal gets run over by the UPS driver, it's going to upset you, and you're going to be depressed, but you'll eventually get over it. You get another animal, or another grandma, but you'll eventually flatten out and slowly free. Go back to normal. Unless you're clinically depressed. Clinically depressed, you go down, then you really go down, then you hit that point. Okay? So, biopsychosocial. Social event caused it. The psychological event keeps it going down. Because this, think about these sad things that makes you sad, right? So, those who move out and move back up, they have strengths. They either have inner strengths because of their religion or their family is very supportive, or maybe they have a loved one, a mate, partner that brings them back up. But those who can't get that, this is what happens. You're depressed right here. It's Friday night. Anyway, let's assume you had some friends that you like to go out there. Say, go over to your house and say, hey, Neil, come on, man, you're moping around. I know your grandma died, you're upset, but you can't stay in bed and just, light candles or something. Let's go. Of course, when you say, no, I'm still, I have something to do that. I just can't do it right now. So when they come back again, up 2 weeks, you tell them the same thing. Nah! So that's it. They don't come back. Because who wants to be around a depressed person? Nobody, right? It's like drags the whole group down. Hey, let's think about this. So they get down here, and somewhere along the line, there are biological changes here. Serotonin, which is a neurotransmitter, is coming in short supply. Why? Because grandma died? Well, sort of, but it's because of your thinking and the fact that you're going into the profession. Not always think certain kind of way. You feel in such a way that you naturally be complete. And you are not going to get out of this bottom level probably without some medicine, medical intervention. And then with medical intervention and therapy, drugs is not the end all. That's just an intervention. You've got to have some therapeutic intervention. And then you can work yourself up and get back to the Oh, I think I've got to ask you one more question. Sometimes people kill themselves when they're really, really, really sick, right? So in this diagram, where do you think people are more likely to kill themselves? Would it be on this side, on the very bottom, or on this side? 1, 2, 3. Rock bottom? So, what is the vote? Who else has one? One. One? Okay. Anybody else? Picking. What is it? Okay. You want? No? Okay. The answer? Do you want to kill yourself here? Yes, you do. How about when you're rock bottom? Absolutely. Why don't you kill yourself when you're at rock bottom? Because you're in bed going, I hate my life, it sucks, I think I'm going to kill myself. What? I can't even get out of bed, so. You don't have enough energy to do it. You have the thoughts, the bad thoughts are there, but you're not going to implement a plan. Here, yes, you have the thoughts, especially down, but you're still optimistic, thinking, I'm going to get over this. It's going to get better. It doesn't. Now you really want to do yourself, but I think it's hard to do it. So then what happens? If you're down here, you're not even leaving the house. You're just laying in bed. Somebody finally does an intervention. Somebody drags you out of bed, takes you to the hospital, whatever. And then you start getting medication, possibly therapy, sure, and then you start getting better. And then what happens right there? Getting better, drugs, you're out of the house, you're seeing a friend too, then what happens? Relapse. You start thinking, oh, hell no, I'm going back, I can feel it. I'm going back out here. Now I have the energy. So if you have a friend that's gone through this, the most dangerous time, the way you want time, the way to help a friend who's depressed, go to the house, make it better than get off the sofa. So I don't want to go. I know you don't want to go. Bob and I are here to drag your happy high again, and you won't be happy. Because exercise helps with the depressive and the serotonin. So, if you work at the serotonin as an antidepressant, it helps you exercise. If you're a hardcore exerciser, a runner, a power lifter, just don't get stressed. But even though go weightlifters that I know, they're crazy. Man. I was one time and John was in there and asked the guy, he looked like crap. I said, John, what are you doing in the gym? You're sick. He goes, yeah, I know. So I gotta get my workout in. And they live it. This guy is tell somebody after you've been over there once, twice, 3 times, then we'll go out with you, and bring a friend and we'll drive them right out of their house and make them walk on the internet. The more times they get out and walk, the deeper they're not doing it. All right, I'm ready to do it. What questions do you have about anything? You know how to get a hold of me, right? You have my, you know, it's also, all right, thank you guys for helping me to organize. It's kind of complicated. Better idea how to organize it. Sort of want to make a semicircle. Jigsaw. Semicircle here. Be something like that. So that nobody's looking at the back of somebody's head, but it's all with everybody looking this way. I never did much like getting in these roads. But normally, I've been watching my kids that have 42. You don't have a choice. You gotta live it. So if I teach a class, it's got the lesser number of students. But what's on now, I like that approach. I just don't want somebody to tell me we got heart attack. I'm not following the line. Okay. All right. Excuse, thanks. Oh, did everybody sign in? Sign in, see if I can wrong. So I have to take it through the email, fax, phone jack, and all that. Next one. Darren. Yes, one more black. Yeah, but you can't do it. See it? So, yeah, we're up. I'll send out. Worst comes to worst. We'll get done. I think I like wait. What is the price?